अवतार मेहर
मेहर
बाबा
बाबा
की जय।
की जय।
जय।
अवतार
अवतार मेहर बाबा
बाबा
की जय।
की जय।
अवतार मेहर बाबा
बाबा
की जय।
की जय।
Over to you, Pratham uncle from here. Yes. Rest of
Thank you,
them
Baba.
can do themselves. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba to all of you. Just before I take up some subject, last time we are talking about Baba's silence. I have got a couple of incidents to speak about Baba's silence. We know that Baba had started his silence right from 10th of July 1925, and every year we are following that day by observing silence. I do not know how many people in US or in other foreign countries they observe silence, but in India, most of the Baba lovers do manage to observe silence for 24 hours. Why we observe for 24 hours? Earlier times, whenever there used to be anniversary, silence anniversary, we had talked about that. Dr. Gani's lecture I had explained last time. Beautiful talk he had given about Baba's silence connected with Baba's sufferings. That we have already dealt with. But then Baba, after some years, initially Baba used to ask people to his Umar Mandali and very close ones to celebrate this anniversary. And that is by observing fast or say silence, whatever it may be. But then I do not exactly remember the year, but that from that year, Baba involved the whole Baba families throughout the world in to participate in this great event of our time, that is Baba's silence. And Baba, initially Baba asked the people, he had given two options, whether to observe silence or to fast. Fast was for 12 hours and silence was for 24 hours. But in the last couple of years, Baba had not allowed the option of fast. He wanted his lover to observe silence and silence only. And before any change could be made in that instruction, Baba dropped his body. So we all feel and we all take it to be the last wish that Baba had expressed. And accordingly, we are observing silence as it was willed by Meher Baba. Not for any other object, any other object in our mind. It is only to follow Meher Baba's wish. Now, there are certain incidents, especially I tell you, when in the year 1941, that was the year Meher Baba met with Upasni Maharaj. That was a place near Sakori. And a special meeting was arranged by Gulmai, Adi's mother, and Baba's spiritual mother. She was very much attached to Upasni Maharaj. Upasni Maharaj used to love her very much. And of course, Meher Baba was everything for us, for the whole family. So she was rather to say intermediate between these two, to convey messages about Upasni Maharaj to Meher Baba and Meher Baba's message to Upasni Maharaj. And Upasni Maharaj was every time asking for meeting with Meherban. And Baba was just postponing that. At one time, Baba put a condition that I will meet Upasni Maharaj. But then on one condition, that you should not ask me to break my silence. That and Gulmai, whether she told Maharaj about this or not, that we do not know. But ultimately, that meeting was arranged. Baba came from, she was perhaps in Satara or Panjgari or Satara. Therefore, he came. Sarosh was in Mehrabad. Sarosh, Baba, Gulmai, all they went there. And there was a place about 2-3 kilometers from Thakuri, a very beautiful field, I would say, a sort of a mango trees and different trees and a nice place, very isolated place. And there was a small house also. And there the meeting was arranged. And meeting was, of course, I don't, I would not, I mean, just go into details about that, but both these masters meet each other for the last time, that is 1961. And Upasniwal did tell Mirwan, Upasniwal said that you should break your silence now. Thereafter, but Baba was not to do that because he has his own purpose. Upasni Maharaj had his own purpose for telling such a thing to Baba. Baba had his own purpose for continuing that silence. But elderly, we have heard from the elderly people. Baba had told them, the elders, that Maharaj wants me to break my silence. The reason is that he wants to reduce my burden of work, burden of universal work, the avataric work, and he wants to share that work. But I don't want to put my burden on anybody's head. I have to undergo all these sufferings, and I am going to do that. So that is about Baba's silence. Another incident which I would like to tell here. Naraj Maharaj also had referred to Baba's silence sometime. Naraj Maharaj had come to Mumbai for some function. He was staying with some of his devotees, and few people from Dadachaji family, they went there to pay their respects to Baba's Guru, Baba's master, Narayan Maharaj. And then when they met Maharaj face to face, they told Maharaj that they are followers of Meher Baba, and their uncle, that means Dadachaji, he was in service of Meher Baba. He was staying as a Mandali member of Meher Baba, and he had dedicated his life for Meher Baba's cause. And we are also followers of Meher Baba. And look at the gestures of Narayan Maharaj. He said, "Oh, you have come from Narayan. You are followers of Meher Baba." I heard that he's not talking, he's not speaking. See the all the perfect masters. What he expresses before these Baba lovers, Dadajanji family, that you come from Meher Baba, but I heard that he doesn't talk. Why he's observing silence? So some of the Dadajanji, they said that Baba, you know, Maharaj, you know better. How we can say you know better? And then what Naraj Maharaj said was very significant thing for all of us. What he said, that you must make him speak. You must make him speak. Why he observed silence? You must make him speak. But thereafter he said, by your love, by your increasing your love, that you must make him speak. It's very significant statement which Narayan Maharaj had uttered about Baba's silence. If we want to see Baba breaking for silence, naturally it follows that we have to love him more and more. For us all, instead of waiting for Baba to break his silence, let us wait for Baba speaking to us through his silence. Let us wait for that. And we are all waiting for that. In fact, during Baba's time, we were not very much concerned about Baba's breakup. In fact, we thought that Baba should not break his silence. His silence was so speaking and so very, what should I say, a very pleasant thing to watch. And believe me, if something is concerned with you and Baba is gesturing, you could follow it without any interpretation by somebody. You could follow it. That was the capacity which Baba was creating within the people to understand his gesture. So the Baba's silence is really a very interesting topic for us to feel, to study, feel, and watch. This is all about science. I would shift to another topic, which one of my very dear friends has brought to my notice. So many people, when I was very young, I was in a primary school. We in India, we used to have a 9 days festival that is called Navaratra. Nava means 9, Ratra means nights. That is a festival for nine nights. And every day, every morning, we would garland the idol with a fresh garland. I have seen so many families wherein they give contract to the vendor to supply one garland every day. And the men people from in the house who are the chief people in the house, if they don't get time to garland Baba's picture, they will ask their servants to put that garland on Baba's picture. It's a mockery. This is really very, a very sad state of affairs. Why for that garland then? If you don't have a time to garland Baba, why you purchase the garland? And that garland will be, believe me, it will be simply a thread and some 3-4 flowers, that's all. And the devotees at home, they are very happy that they are putting every different garland on Baba's picture. No, that is not expected of us. But then some people are there who are very sincere about it. Even if you talk about me, if you want to know about me, I also like Baba's picture to be garlanded with the fresh flowers. See, when I talk about that garlanding Baba's picture, I would get an example. A mother when she loves her child, so with her hands she washes him, she gives him bath, she puts powder on his body, whole body, and puts very clean and new clothes on his body. And that is the pleasure for the mother to look at the child. That is the pleasure of the mother to look at the child. Her child should look very nice, quite good and nice and good looking. The same case is there with us, that when we garland Baba, we want Baba's picture to look very happy and nice and very pleasing. Personally, it's my experience that at times I find that when I take look at Baba's picture, I find it in a very sad mood and some blackish color on that picture, and I become very much upset when I see that. And it is my understanding that if that is so, then that indicates that Baba is not pleased with me. It's my own impression that I'm telling my own impression. When I see that picture to be not very in a happy mood, I feel that Baba is not happy with me. But then when that pictures look very energetic, very happy, very smiling, all that well garlanded with fresh flowers, then I feel that Baba is very happy with me. That is personal feeling. Now there was a question which was raised before me, is that so many people want to offer their prayers through garlanding Baba's picture, through burning incenses, through burning lamps and whatnot, to putting prasad and all that thing. So whether that should be done or that should be allowed, probably especially at a public place where we have our regular meetings, whether that is expected of the people to be allowed to do that. That will be the question. And there may be different views on this point, because after all, it is a question of everybody's sentiments. But then I won't give exact, please don't take it that whatever I say here on this point, it is only my view, my understanding. Please don't take it to be a final word, because I will give you a number of examples. That is what I am going to do now. Number of incidents wherein how Baba has treated that particular situation. It's a very, very interesting incidents which I am going to tell you. And I have noted down that which I'll be telling you. Now, I leave this point to all of you. You may take it any way you like. I won't give me personal, I won't force anybody to from my side personally, but then whatever I feel, I would just definitely tell, but at the last, before that, I'll give you different incidents. In Guru Prasad, there used to be some program, say singing program. Actually, there used to be at certain times any problem there? Hello?
We can hear you. Go
We
ahead.
can hear you. We can hear you. We
You
can hear
can you
Yes.
can listen, no?
Yes,
So
yes,
what-
yes.
Yes. So what I was talking about, so there used to be programs in Guru Prasad. Now Guru Prasad, every time there will be no darshan programs. Not every time. I would call it as a family group programs or group sahvas to families, to close families. Baba would invite them. They will be sitting with close to Baba, and there will be some program going on, and people will enjoy looking at Baba all the time. No, not much bowing down. Some people may bow down, Baba won't stop that. But then mostly it will be just giving it, living in Baba's company. That was the main object for such meeting. And at darshan time, of course, there will be big queues of one for ladies and one for gents, and then they will turn by turn, they will go before Baba, they will bow down to Baba, they will put their head on Baba's feet and garland Baba, and all that paraphernalia will be continued. But here in Guru Prasad, there used to be, mostly used to be a sort of a savas program to the their families with some singing program. Now, after the singing, especially when we used to sing, the Pune party used to sing before Baba, there used to be last Aarti singing. It was not every time, not during other programs, other programs of Kavalis and all that thing, not at that time. If it is a program by the Pune Bhajan Mandali, then there would be Aarti. And at certain time, Baba would ask us to sing Aarti. And then we would sing that Aarti. During that Aarti, one of the old ladies, she would take a plate, a metal plate, put camphor, put this lamp and all that thing, and start waving that before Baba. And now that camphor, it takes it takes a good fire, and all that smoke and everything there. And Baba, what Baba would do? Baba would tell that lady, better avoid this, otherwise this costly carpets will get burnt. Yeah, what to do that? Because these carpets are this is a Queen's palace, so these carpets are costly carpets, and they may get burned. So be careful about that. Now this is some other times. Now I will talk about the garlanding Baba. Now, before that, I will just put this one another thing for this paraphernalia of bringing that plate and putting lamp and camphor and all that. Once Baba wanted, this must have happened in Mehrabad itself, and Vishnu Master is there, and Baba asked Vishnu Master that, I want you to sing Aarti. And Vishnu Master, as soon as he heard Baba wants to hear Aarti, he ran inside and searched for plates and searched for that lamp and searched for that camphor and for this and for that. And in that searching, little time was wasted. And when he came along with all that paraphernalia, Baba got very much upset and said, I asked for Aarti, not all these traditional waving Aarti and burning camphor and all these things. Now I don't want Aarti now. Baba didn't allow to sing that Aarti. This is for us to take any lesson, whatever we want to take. And then now something about Baba's garland. During the Sahwas program, 1950, especially 1955 Sahwas program, in the beginning of the day's proceedings, Baba would be coming for Mehrabad. He will take seat in the hall, Mandali hall, People will be seated in front of Baba. Our bhajan team will take their own reserved place. Is not very far from Baba and very near to Baba also. And then, especially the old people would sit against the wall, and young people will be sitting in the middle. And this will be the general arrangement for people. At such times, for the old people, Baba would say, you can stretch your feet. If you feel tired about sitting with folded feet, you can stretch your feet. This is we never do that. This is the sort of a accepted sentiment that we have to respect the God man or whatever person, respectable person is there. We never sit there stretching our feet. And that is the reason whenever we go attend for any program, we will take out our shoes outside, which is uncommon in the Western country. I don't want to compare that, but this is what is it. Some time ago, this I just forget name. That person who was critical about Meher Baba, he has written against Baba. What is the name of that person?
Colonel Irani.
Paul Brunton. Paul Brunton. Paul Brunton.
Paul Brunton, correct. You are right. Thank you so much. Paul Brunton. When he had come there, he wanted to meet Babajan. And I think somebody took him to Babajan. Babajan, please, Babajan was not feeling well. And she was lying on a bed inside. And when he wanted to go inside with his shoes on, he was asked to take out his shoes, keep them outside and then go inside. That person felt it very strange about it, but then that was what it was. During 1955 program, there are very funny incidents. People will stand in a queue in the beginning. People will stand in a queue. They want to take Baba's darshan. Some people will put their head on Baba's feet. Some people will just shake hands with Baba. Some people will garland Baba. Some people will have embrace Baba and all that. And that is to take a lot of time. And Baba would at times get displeased about it and say that we were wasting so much of time in all these bowing down and this and that, giving darshan and that. And the main theme for which I have called you, it remains aside. Very little time is left for that purpose. So from tomorrow, this is last time. First day he will allow. For next day, he will stop all these things. Now here, what about people's sentiments? Baba is not allowing them to garland Baba. Baba is not allowing them to bow down to Baba. Now, what about the sentiments of the people? Godman himself wants that we should not do that. In the first day also, usually people will have garlands in their hands. As they approach Baba, Baba will allow them to garland him. They will put garland on Baba's neck. And certain people about say, why you are wasting money on this? This is the most unimportant thing that you are doing. You are unnecessarily spending money on this. Babajan also used to say this thing. So Baba used to say, why you are wasting money? This is certain people, whenever, on some occasions, Baba would say, don't waste time on these flowers and garlands and all that thing. But there are instances when a person, some person of old time, Baba's friend, must have been Baba's friend, if he comes without garland, Baba would ask him, why are not brought garland for me? And not only that, but he will pick up some garland from that, from his own stock, give it to that person, ask him to garland Baba. What to understand? What we have to understand? It's very difficult to put Baba in a particular setup. He is beyond all that thing. Some other incidents, very, I would, yes. It's a beautiful incident. I like it very much. During Baba's stay in Guru Prasad, many people, we used to go very often, especially on the weekends, we were definitely there. It is said there is a saying that if you want to find out a mullah, you have to search for him. You have to go to masjid and find him. Like that, if you want to find out Pratap Varna, Madhustan, they have to come to Guru Prasad and find out. And we will be there. They will find us there. So that was usual routine for us. Whenever there is a weekend, we will definitely in Guru Prasad. The whole day practically. Till the time Baba is there. And some people, they also regularly used to come from Mumbai. They will stay there in a hotel, very close by hotel, and attend all these sessions with which Baba will be there in the Mandali hall. On one such occasion, there was one person by name Jimmy Mistry. He is very sort of a funny person, very joyful person, I would say, a happy-go-lucky person, and little bit humorous also. And Baba used to like his company very much. Now, his wife was from Dadaji's family. Her name was Rhoda Mistry. Jimmy's wife is Rhoda Mistry. There, one of their son, middle son, is there in Meherazad. He is taking care of Meherazad. One eldest son is there he is a doctor, he is in US. And the last one is, he is working there on ships, I think. So these three sons he had. He came once with a garland. Usually he used to come with a garland. And once, for no reason, Baba just said that, why you always bring these garlands? Why are you wasting money on that? And don't bring garland from next time. Jimmy said, all right, Baba, I will not bring from next time. And while going to take his seat, he just murmured within his mouth that I bring it because Rhoda always wants me to take garland. As soon as Baba heard the name of Rhoda, and as soon as Baba heard that Rhoda wants to garland Baba, Baba called him back. I told you not to bring the garland. Yes, Baba, I will not bring. No, you bring from next time. See what was the purpose? First, Baba said, don't bring garland. The very next moment, he says, keep on bringing that garland, because there were sentiments behind that garland. Sentiments of his dear one from the Dajaji family, Rhoda Mistry. See the treatment Baba used to give. One has to draw his own conclusion from these incidents. I'll just look for some other incident which I find. Yes. About this garlanding, Mehra, after Baba dropped his body, people used to put garland on Baba's samadhi. And it was concern for Mehra that if somebody brings a rose flower, the thorns have been removed from there. Mehra wanted that the flowers, rose flowers which are offered on Baba's samadhi, they should be free from those thorns. The reason was that Baba's body or Baba's fingers, that may get injured because of those thorns. See the feeling. What a feeling it is. That means she had a very strong feeling that Baba is sleeping there. And she was so very concerned about that Baba should not be injured by any of our sentimental misunderstandings. And she would allow only if the rose flowers are free from any thorns. See the feeling. One other instance I would just tell. When this Bairamangala project was completed and the opening was done, so many Sufis had come, other Americans also had come, people from all over India, they had come, from other countries also they had come, and there was a very big function. And from the very next day, people started offering garlands, burning camphors, burning incenses, breaking coconuts and all that. And K.K. Ramakrishnan, who was very particular about the sanctity of the places, he never used to allow these things. He used to tell very politely. Because people, when they do all these things, they don't look to the cleanliness or the of the purity of that place. They will make all that bunches and keep them like that. Now when these incense are burned, they drop some ash. They won't bother whether the ash is being removed or not. It will remain there, it will accumulate there. So what is the use of that sort of a sentiment? For that matter, Ramakrishna was very strict. No burning of incenses, no breaking of coconuts and all that. A separate place was kept for breaking these coconuts. Another thing what I would like to say is that in Pune Center, we have one garland from the center every week, practically every day. There is a fresh, but we have garden there. The boy or who is there, the caretaker. He will prick some flowers, make a garland, and put on Baba's picture. But on weekends, on the day of program, they will purchase a big, good garland of fresh flowers and put on Baba's picture. But everybody didn't insist for putting garland on Baba's picture. Very few people, certain occasions. Now, supposing there is a birthday of somebody, that person feels that he should put garland on Baba's picture. And that we used to allow. Now, K.K. Ramakrishna was concerned about Pune Central also. So such occasions he would allow. He will not take objection. But any other time, which is spoiling the whole atmosphere, he will definitely take a strong objection to that. I have seen in Karnataka that so many temples are so very neglected, I tell you. Heaps of garlands are lying there. Then so many pieces of coconuts and this and that and all, everything is just dumped there. Not only that, but I do not know why, but even the walls are so very sticky with application of oil that you won't feel like touching that oil, touching that wall with your body, because your clothes will get spoiled. That is the state of these temples. They are mostly neglected temples. In Pune, there is one very big temple. That is the Ganesh temple. That belongs to one very rich person. There is a trust now, but then it was begun by a very rich person. It is well known by the name Dagdu Shet Halwai. Dagdu Shet is the name of that person. Halwai is the sweet meat maker who makes sweet meats. So that person was owning that mandir. Thereafter, it went on. The publicity went on throughout India and throughout Maharashtra and throughout several places. And Association paper will invariably come for darshan of that place, because there were some talks about getting some miraculous things and all that thing. This was the state of affairs there. And they used to put so many garlands that some people would make misuse of it. They will take that used garland outside and sell the same garland for other people to put on that. Where is the sanctity? Where is the feeling? What type of feeling they have? All these things are there. All these things are there. I do not know, but it is not, boasting on my part. But when I think about myself, I have no occasion to garland Baba. I don't remember any point of time when I had took garland for Baba during Baba's time. Of course, nowadays, on my birthday or on my day on which I made Baba, I do take garland and put on Baba's Samadhi. But during Baba's time, I never remember any time when I have garlanded Baba. In Bombay, there was one person who used to come from office, from place away from our center. He will come in a train, he will get down from the train. First thing, he will go to the vendor of the garden, selling garden. He will ask that person to make a fresh garland. Until the time a big garland is made by that vendor, he will keep on waiting there. He will stand there. After that garland is completed, he will pay the money and bring it. By the time he comes to the center, he will become late by 10-15 minutes. Now, here, we are giving much importance to the garden rather than being with Baba. A minute we miss because of our late coming. That is deducted from your life forever. Once so happened, my son Prashant was living very far out from that place, about 50 kilometers. And from there, every weekend he used to come. Bombay Center would have a program on Sundays. So every week he will come along with the family. At times, my family will be there, my wife and myself, my children will be, other children will be there, and we all will come. But these ladies, they will make it, delay in their all makeup and all that. And once it so happened that we were late by 5-7 minutes, when I was grudging about that, one of the ladies said that if we reach there, say 5 minutes or 10 minutes late, that heaven is not going to fall upon us. I said, what you say is really correct, definitely correct. It's not going to be that heaven is not going to fall upon you. But that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, they have for all the time they have been deducted from your life. To be with Baba for that 5 minutes, that opportunity is lost forever. So you have to take care that you reach the center at time, within time. Several incidents about Baba. Baba was very particular about the timing. I have never seen Baba reaching any place late. Never. Baba never used to be late. Once he has given some time, he will definitely reach at that time. Not only that, but in Guru Prasad itself, the main hall where Baba is to give darshan or Baba is to give asavas, the main hall and the Mandil hall, they were just adjacent. There was only one wall and one door in between. And Baba will be sitting in the Mandil hall along with the people like us. And as the time approaches, Baba would ask, Baba not wearing any watch. So Baba would ask somebody, what is the time? And then person will say, Baba, it is, supposing the program is to start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Baba, it is 10 to 2. Oh, it is lot of time. Then he will sit, do something else. Again, after 2 minutes, he will ask, what is the time? Again, he will say, oh, there is still a lot of time. Then again, he will spend some time here and there. And exactly just few seconds before that time of that meeting, he will get up from his seat. He will wear his, if he has taken out his bush coat, he will put it that pink color. He will put it on his body. Just have some move his palm on his face, and majestically he will walk through the door for that program. See, just for one door, crossing one door, he would be so very concerned. Every 5 minutes he will ask for the time. So Baba, in his lifetime, he has never been late anywhere. Only one instant which I remember, that some very well-known filmmaker in US, very famous filmmaker. Baba had gone somewhere and he had come to Baba's place to meet Baba. Baba had called him, and then I think Norina was there, and that man he had come. He was a very great producer. He had come there and he was very uneasy because Baba was getting late, and he wanted to leave because he had not seen Baba. He was not a Baba lover, and then when he was very uneasy, I think here through these 10 commandments, who is the, I just forgetting the name
Pascal.
because of the age.
Pascal. There was a filmmaker named Pascal.
Pascal. Yes, yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Gabriel.
So that person was very uneasy. And what Baba did is, Baba sent a message that give him some juice or something. And one Elizabeth, Norina, somebody was there. According to Baba's instruction, she prepared that juice and gave it to him. And that person was surprised. That person was surprised because it was his favorite juice, and his mother used to give him every time. And that time that instant, it stuck to him so much that how Baba could know my liking about this juice. And he, without any grudge, he kept on waiting for Baba. It is some incident like that. Anyway, now since we are dealing about this paraphernalia of garlanding Baba's picture, and now imagine people are standing in a queue. The person who is who is first taking Baba's darshan, he wants to garland Baba's picture. He wants to burn camphor. He wants to burn incense. He wants to break coconut. If he takes so much of time, the other people will curse him. And if every day takes that time, then the whole program will get upset. So it is my opinion. Don't take it as a final word. It is my opinion. So the organization who are organizing the show of holding meetings, holding weekly meeting programs, it is their duty to make some rule about this. And it will be a duty of every one of us to follow that, to maintain the sanctity, the purity of the place. This is very necessary. I have seen in Uttar Pradesh, in UP, in northern India, there is a place by name Merathana. Baba had got a hut built on a small hillock. A very beautiful place. And Baba had declared there through his gestures, raising hand, Avatar Mere Baba Ki Jai. And that all people, they just say that is the first time Baba has declared openly that he is the Avatar of the age. We were not, very much agreeable with that version, because from our beginning, right from just before 1950 also, when we were attending Baba programs, before Baba's darshan, before that for 1950 meeting in Mahabaleshwar, before that time also, Meher Baba is the avatar of the age. That was the understanding beyond to all of us. Some of the senior people used to hesitate to say so. But people, enthusiastic people like us would fight with them, with the elder people. No, Meher Baba is avatar of the age. How you say it, Sadhguru? He is the avatar of this age. That used to be the situation then. So this particular place where Baba had got declared, let us say Baba declared first time publicly that he is the avatar of the age. They are celebrating this day. On that day, from the bottom up to the jhopdi, up to that hut, they will on both the side on the pathway, they will on the both side, they will burn lamps, and it looks so very beautiful, so very beautiful. It is really thrilling. That scenery is thrilling. You feel so very emotional about that. What a beautiful place, and you remember Baba so very intensely. Such things are also there. So from all these things or all these incidents which I have explained to you today, one has to make up one's mind which is correct and which is wrong. Nobody is completely correct, nobody is completely wrong. Everybody is partially correct, everybody is partially wrong. So it is up to individual, what he has to do. This topic is, I have finished practically, and I think time is also finished. But I had selected one small song, whether you would like to listen to that.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I see. That is a ghazal. Yes.
I can't get my video to work, Pratap. Sorry,
Yes,
everybody.
This is a beautiful ghazal. I will, along with singing, I'll just explain you the meaning of it. ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में है, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, ना हो जिंदगी नहीं है, ये वो जिंदगी नहीं है, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, तो जिंदगी नहीं है, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें, है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें कोई रोशनी नहीं है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें कोई रोशनी नहीं है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें. It's a beautiful meaning it is. What he says is, what the poet says is, life without suffering and sorrows and struggle is not life at all. It is a lamp without light. So one is, when the life is full of suffering and agonies, that is real life. न हो जिंदगी कोई जिंदगी नहीं है, न हो जिंदगी. तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा, तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा. तेरी आरज़ू सलामत, तेरी आरज़ू सलामत, मुझे क्या कमी नहीं है, तेरी आरज़ू सलामती, मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है, तेरी आरज़ू सलामत. What you say is this: everything of yours I love. I love your love, I love your anger, I love your pleasure, I love your displeasure. Everything that comes from you, I love it. Even the tortures which you have given, that also I love. And in the second line he says, till the time the flame of love, your love is burning in my heart, everything I have got with me. Till the time the flame of your love is burning in my heart, I'm not lacking anything. Everything is there with me. तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा, तेरी आरज़ू सलामत, तेरी आरज़ू सलामत, मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है, तेरी आरज़ू सलामत, मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है, तेरी आरज़ू सलामती। तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिला कुछ सिका, तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिला कुछ सिका, तो नहीं गिला कुछ सिका, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद अभी पोख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में भी शायद अभी पोख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद। What he says is that you are not able to understand the language of my heart, or the agony of my heart, you are not able to understand. It's not your fault, because perhaps I may be lacking in my love. My love may not have become so very matured to attract your attention. He takes the blame upon himself. He doesn't put the blame on the beloved for not listening to the cry of his heart. He takes the blame upon himself, that saying that there is no intensity, perhaps there is no intensity in my feeling of heart. तुम्हारे दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिना कुछ इसका, तो नहीं गिना कुछ इसका, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद अभी पोख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद अभी पोख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद। मेरे हाल जार देख ये जमाना हंस रहा है, मेरा हाल जार देखे ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, तेरा करम है जालिम. It's a beautiful expression he gives about his own condition. He says that I look so very sad. I look so very, my face looks so very pulled down, and I am not well dressed. I am not well. My hair are, scattered here and there. I am not dressed properly. This is the condition I look. Why it is so? It is not my weakness, or rather to say, it is not my compulsion. It is the grace, your grace. It is because of your grace that I have become like this. ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं. That grace is, but that grace is a different grace. Grace is not of happiness. Grace is of maybe a grace of cruelty, a grace of indifference, a grace of giving suffering, a grace of giving agony. That is your grace. He says, my condition has become like this. It is not my fault. People are laughing at me. It is not my fault. It is because of your grace, which contains all that cruelty, all that agonies and all that sufferings and whatnot. मेरे हार धार पर ये ज़माना हंस रहा है, ये ज़माना हंस रहा है. ये तेरा करम है जालिम, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है. ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है. ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है. ये तेरा करम अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Very beautiful, Pratap uncle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Baba.
This was really touching. Yeah. So we had Rosal. Her hand was up since long. So Rosal can, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see me because I don't have my video on, but I'm very happy to hear you talking about garlanding and everything because, it can lead to ritual. And so that was very good to hear what you had to say and share. Just remarks that Baba said about it, just try to balance out a way of thinking about it because, I come from a religion where there was a lot of ritual, but I wanted to ask you, and I was going to ask before the talk, I would very much love to hear you tell about meeting Baba in 1950 because I didn't hear it myself. So
Yes.
maybe next time, because that's the best story of all for all of us when we meet God, and so I look forward to it, and thank you so much for sharing in song. That was, who wrote that ghazal? Who do we know who wrote that ghazal that you sang, Pratap?
With that which I sang now.
Yes.
Ganesh, will you please tell me what she wants to say?
Who has written the ghazal?
There is-
Who has written the ghazal?
No, their name is not there available with me also because it's from somewhere I have just collected it. It's very beautiful ghazal. The meaning
Yeah.
is very, yes, very touching.
Very,
touching.
yeah. Thank you so much, Pratap, for
Yeah.
coming and coming and coming.
You see, this agony of love, this concept is not there in the Western countries. Even in one of the talks which Francis had given, he has explained this, that agony with love, love with agony is a rare gift from master to man. And those who get it, they are very, very fortunate people. I had some time ago, I had just read out some remarks of Meher Baba about a must. What happens is that this agony, such agony, is so very sweet agony that people want it more and more. Instead of getting rid of it, people want it more and more. That is the beauty of this agony. What to say? I'm sorry, I do not know the name of that poet.
Yeah. A good,
Okay, we have
good
next
guess.
Marlon. Sorry. Yeah, we have next Marlon.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. I can't seem to get the video to work today, Pratapji. Sorry. Wonderful talk as always. And I just wanted to say, if you're able to maybe tell someone the words who could send them, I would love to have a copy of those words that you sang so beautifully from that ghazal. It's
Yeah.
very, very wonderful. And I don't know if you're able to do that, but I hope so. I could always listen back to this recording session, I suppose, and write them down. Eventually, I could do that. And I was thinking of a time when I was in India, and well, we were garlanding with Mani, Mera's tomb there outside. And I remember she said, and why do we do this? You know, and why do we bow down?
Yes.
Why is this? And she said, we do so because of love. And I'll never forget that, because even though people will say, oh, you follow ritual, you do this and you do that, but in your heart, nobody really knows. You know, it's if you're prompted from the heart. I believe Baba gave her that to say, so we could share that with others to know that, you know, not mechanically, just like the japa, he would say, do it with feelings of emotion, not automatically. And so it's something to work on as well. And thank you so much for stirring our hearts and souls. As much love in Baba. Jai Baba.
Yes, really true. Yes. By the way, I do not know how many of you have visited India and especially gone to Baba's Samadhi and Berazad and all that. But you feel that vibrations whenever you go there. They are very strong. Baba has kept that treasure for all of us. And that is the reason why people have always a strong desire in their minds to go and pay their respects to Baba's Samadhi. Even strangers, I have heard speaking very strange, though they are not Baba, they do not know much about Meher Baba. Only by hearing that name, they go there and pay their respects. Even they say that there are so very strong vibrations here, which stir up our heart so
Mm,
much that we feel like weeping.
mhm.
Mm. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Malin. So we have Merchant now. Merchant Garu.
Jai Mer Baba Kaka.
Yes, Jai Baba.
When I
Jai
heard
Baba.
about Madam saying about roses and all that, which recollected me one incident in 62, when, that time ladies were never allowed
Yes.
to come onto the stage, and Madam used to watch beyond the curtain from the hall. So Baba was feeling uncomfortable when garlands were there. So Madam sent a word to go ahead. Some bee was there in that was paining Baba. The bee, honey bee was in the flower. So meticulous.
Mm,
Baba said,
mm,
the love of Mera. You are standing next to me, Adi, and he was telling Adi, and you are next to me, but didn't notice. Mera's love is like that. See.
yes.
And another incident which I recollect about the garlands is when the Westerners, when they came first time, Merama used to
Mm,
smell meticulously. You are not supposed to smell the flower which is offering to Baba. You are not
yes.
supposed to touch the garland to the ground. You are not
Yes.
supposed to wear the garland or around the neck before offering to Baba. These are the
Yes.
conditions displayed in the early days. They were so meticulous. And she used to tell, don't take Baba lightly. Baba, you should pay respect along even offering the garlands. She always
Mm.
meticulous. That recollected. And I'm thankful to you, Kaka, for all this. Jai Meher Baba.
But one last thing, one must understand, one must accept that this love Baba has sown the seed of that love in the minds of in the minds of you people, all of you people who are in the West. That love is because one person one Babalo from Mumbai, he was a pilot, and when he went to Myrtle Beach and met, I think, met Elizabeth or somebody, but that's the first question the lady asked him, whether when you remember Baba very intensely, whether you get tears in your eyes. That was a very significant question that she asked that person. And it is true that some people with that subject of Meher Baba, they get tears in their eyes. That is Meher Baba. And we must thank Baba for that. Jai Baba to all of you. I have taken little bit more time.
No. You don't have to
Jai
worry about that.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you so much, Uncle, for this beautiful evening.
Jai
Thank
Meher
you.
Baba.
So we can conclude with 3 times Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. So everyone can unmute themselves now and join. Avtar
Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Yay, yay.
Thank you,
Thank
Baba.
you all. Beautiful.
Jai Baba Pratap. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai
Jai
Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
When are you coming back?
Baba Jani. Baba knows.
Week after next.
Sorry.
The week after next.
Interestingly, that is July
Oh.
9th. So that is July 9th, the day
July
before the
9th.
Silence Day.
Awesome.
So it comes 9th, like,
Yeah.
Friday.
Look forward to it.
Mm.
You can't go overtime then because you go into silence day, so you have to be good
Just
timing.
one day before. One day before.
Few hours before silence.
Oh, so wonderful.
What we do here is that we keep awake up to 12 o'clock on 9th. And
Right.
then with prayers, we start Baba's silence. And in the morning, on the next day, when we keep awake up to the breaking of silence.
Mm.
It's a very, what should I say, very beautiful experience that we have. I just forgot to tell you one thing. Once we were traveling in, you won't mind my taking one minute.
Take 2
No.
minutes.
No.
We were there in Chennai, and with us was Aloba. Now many people must be knowing the nature of Aloba. He was very outspoken person, and one young boy was sitting. Young means must be of my age. He was sitting right in front of Aloba. And Aloba is very appreciating that person. He says, "You are so very active member of this city. You do so much of work, and you are always. I have seen you always busy in doing something or the other for Baba. I really like you so much." And then he asked that person, "You must be observing silence on 10th July, no?" And that person was little bit in a puzzle because she was not observing silence. She said, "No, I don't observe silence." Is it? I am surprised how you are not observing silence. You are such a good worker, and still you are not observing silence. And that person says, "No, I am not observing silence." Then what Aloba says is a beautiful thing. Aloba says, "Your case is like a four-wheeler. Your case is like a four-wheeler. One of the wheel is punctured. Just tell me," he says, "tell me whether that vehicle will run." And then he tells him, "Now you must observe silence." All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Jai Baba so much.
Baba's sister Mani said observing silence for Baba is like giving him a flower, offering him a flower. It's not a ritual, it's just offering a flower to him.
Ganesh